Next up at UFC Tampa, we got Davey Grant taking on Ramon Taveras.
Strike it up.
Strike it up. No, it's not.
Strike it up.
I feel it, yeah. Strike it up. Okay. I would, if you are in Tampa watching these fights, I would keep an eye on Jacob during this fight and make sure that Jacob and Davey Grant can both be seen at the same time. And if they cannot, then Davey Grant is Jacob.
That's not even close.
Inside that cage.
That looks
hey,
nothing
you got
like
some.
me. I look much more like
nothing
Ramon.
like you.
I look
that
much more like
nothing
Ramon.
like
I just got my beard lined up. Me and Ramon basically have the same lineup, right?
Sure.
He actually
Same
has
hair
red
color.
hair. I was
Same
say,
hair
he
color.
actually has red hair.
Yeah.
For, I think it's dyed or whatever. Obviously, I do not have red hair, and I think I look much more like Ramon. He's got neck tattoos. Hey, one. Two, you know what I mean? Neck tattoos, so that's my
Let's
brother
just make
Ramon.
sure. We're going to keep an eye and see if Jacob and Davey Grant can be spotted at the same time. And this is another interesting fight because we have the relatively untested Ramon Taveras taking on a pretty tried and true Davey Grant. Davey Grant 13-7 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is coming back after a full year away. Ramon Taveras 10-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off a successful UFC debut. Davey Grant's a busy striker, right? He'll use some kicks. He'll try to keep that range. He'll use punches for damage. There's a little bit of power hidden in there. A lot of people forget that he did start his UFC career as a grappler. Then he had a little success with his hands and primarily has turned into a volume striker. He got comfortable with those hands, developed some real power over time. He's got 12 fights in the UFC, so obviously he's got some good fight IQ and plenty of experience. Even when he gets dropped, he stays composed. He's able to work through it. He is coming off that loss, though, to Daniel Marcos, where it was clear he was just not the better fighter, but he had a ton of forward pressure. He's taking on Ramon Taveras, a powerful striker. He keeps his hands nice and low to protect from takedowns, and then he will counter-strike his way in. He's got incredible power, very fast hands. He stands southpaw and will launch his power with that left with incredible speed. He does a great job mixing shots up to the body, to the head. Mixing shots up to the body, to the head. Also pumping a nice jab. Takedown defense is just okay. He's got a decent get-up game if he is taken down. And I mentioned he's coming off a successful UFC debut. That was a close fight, but he threw a ton of combination. We did see some power. And here's the reality of this fight. Davey Grant was not good when he was 28. He's not going to be good at 38. But every time I go to pull the trigger on a Ramon Taveras bet, I am like, he's pretty untested. That last fight was closer than it should have been. And Davey Grant is... he's not great, but he is tough. He is tried and true, and he's definitely fought the better level of competition. So Ramon is the pick, and I might pump myself into a bet because these odds are fantastic if you're on the Ramon side. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, Ramon is a guy that...
Here's a guy. I watch sports. That's a football reference. Sports. Unpause. I unpaused. We're just going to wait to see how long Jacob can do this weird bet. Okay.
And then I think that's how he pulls it off.
Hey, it glitched. Can you go ahead and break that down for us again?
You didn't hear me?
No, it glitched.
Oh. Yeah, Ramon's one of those guys that was getting a lot of shit for his regional resume because it's not very good. But regardless of that resume, you can tell he's got the skills. Or some people have fought shit regional people, and you can tell, like, oh, they're just kind of squeaking by because they're saying, this guy is a very, very high-level boxer. Now, he's not really the full, complete mixed martial artist. If you're looking for a more complete mixed martial artist, it's going to be Davey Grant. But at 38, starting to turn that little slope a little bit. And this fight, I believe it is going to be a little bit more boxing than wrestling. As long as Ramon can stay off his back, I do believe he's going to have the boxing advantage at a high level against Davey Grant. You mentioned the last fight versus Cedi. He beat a guy that knocked him out previously. I mean, as an underdog, Steve said the fight was closer than it should have been. I mean, the guy literally knocked his ass out last time they fought, and then it was a close fight, but he ended up holding his own and landing the more impactful shots. He was my pick. I bet him, even though, I mean, this is kind of probably how highly I speak of Ramon, and I am a guy that I love fucking beautiful boxers. They're literally that's like art to me. Like when I see somebody just in that flow state, ripping body shots and just a nice clean boxer, I get fucking orgasmic to that shit. And Ramon's one of those guys that even when I was watching film against CD and I saw him got knocked out, I'm like, he's fucking still clean, man. And I think that he is going to be the cleaner striker. And I think that's what it comes down to in this fight. He's a better striker. I think he can keep it standing with his jab, keep the distance, footwork, all that stuff, and win this fight. So, I mean, I bet him, and I like him in this. He's a fucking really good boxer, man.
Yeah, I didn't pull the trigger on the bet, but I was hovering over it. I literally would just psych myself out. I would go look at Davey's resume and be like, God damn, he has fought some good people. And that would freak me out. But he is getting older. His chin can get touched, and I agree with you. Ramon is the better striker. $8,000 in DraftKings Fantasy to $8,200. You trust Ramon to get a finish here, or you just think he's going to be cleaner and just take over?
I think he can. Davey Grant is known to be a tough guy. I think he's been submitted a bunch of times. I can't remember if he's been TKO'd or not, but he can take some damage. But I mean, Ramon, he does fucking hit hard, and he's fucking Duval. He's some Duval, man.
What is that? I'm supposed to know what that is? Is that some fucking podunk Midwest town that Jacob knows about? Duval. I don't know. Nothing's coming up. Am I supposed to know? Does everybody else know what the hell that is? Is that some podunk Midwest bullshit that Jacob knows about that I don't? Maybe. Fuck him. Nerd. Become a premium member. WeWantPicks.com. It's $10 for an entire month. Just go to any recap video I've done over the last however long, and you're just going to see wins, constant wins, always winning. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Everybody knows what Duval is except me.
If you know anything about anything.
I don't know much.